The little fish who found a big dream. Once upon a time, in a shimmering blue ocean, there lived a little fish named Finley. Finley was no bigger than a seashell and had bright yellow fins that sparkled like the sun. But while Finley looked happy on the outside, inside, he felt small and unimportant. Every day, Finley watched bigger fish zoom past, leaping over coral reefs and darting through seaweed forests. He wished he could do something amazing too, but he thought, "I'm just a tiny fish. What can I do?" One sunny morning, as the ocean waves swayed gently, Finley heard a soft cry. He followed the sound and found a tiny crab stuck between two rocks. "Help me, please," the crab said, waving his little claws. Without a second thought, Finley swam close. "Don't worry, I'll help," he said. Using his small size, Finley wiggled into the narrow gap between the rocks. With one big push of his fins, he freed the little crab. "Thank you," the crab said. "You're so brave, Finley." "Me? Brave?" Finley blinked in surprise. No one had ever called him brave before. As Finley swam away, he felt a spark of confidence. Maybe being small wasn't so bad after all. The next day, Finley met a wise old turtle named Shelley. Shelley was swimming slowly through the water when she stopped and said, "Little fish, you look like you're searching for something. What's on your mind?" "I want to do something big," Finley said. "But I'm too small to make a difference." Shelley smiled kindly. Sometimes, the smallest creatures can make the biggest impact. Just listen to your heart, and you'll find your way. That night, Finley swam home, thinking about Shelley's words. As he drifted to sleep, a loud rumble shook the ocean. Finley opened his eyes to see dark clouds gathering above. A fierce storm had arrived, and the ocean waves were growing wild. Suddenly, Finley saw something glimmering in the distance. It was a group of baby seahorses, clinging tightly to a swaying piece of seaweed. The strong currents were pulling them farther and farther from safety. "Oh no," Finley cried. "I have to help them." Without hesitating, Finley swam toward the baby seahorses. The waves were rough, but Finley was small enough to dodge the swirling water. "Hold on tight," he called to the seahorses. "I'll guide you back to the coral reef." One by one, Finley led the seahorses through the stormy water. His bright yellow fins glowed like a lantern, helping them see the way. The journey was tough, but Finley didn't give up. Finally, they reached the safety of the reef. The baby seahorses huddled together, safe and sound. "Thank you, Finley," one of them said softly. "You saved us." As the storm passed and the ocean grew calm again, the other sea creatures gathered around. They had seen Finley's brave rescue and cheered loudly. "Finley, the tiny fish with the biggest heart," Shelley said with a proud smile. Finley beamed with happiness. He had finally done something amazing, not because he was the biggest or the strongest, but because he cared enough to try. From that day on, Finley swam through the ocean with his fins held high. He realized that even the smallest fish could have the biggest dreams and make them come true. And as the waves gently rocked the ocean to sleep, Finley drifted off to dream about the next adventure waiting for him. The end.